Hello my friends and welcome back. I was going to make this an unscripted Monday morning chat, but the kids decided to take off for the evening, so I've decided to have my chat Sunday evening instead of Monday morning because one never knows what Monday will bring. Anyway, I just want to take the opportunity to once again thank all of you for your wonderful comments and your email, and those of you who had bought me a cup of coffee these last 1 or 2 weeks. I truly appreciate it. I still have a slight sore throat and I'm slightly hoarse, so if you hear me coughing a bit every now and then, please excuse me. I'm doing my best. Anyway, obviously, I received a lot of email with regards to Judge Warby's ruling, and also a few comments that stood out to me with the video I made about that, and one in particular from a lady who's actually a criminal lawyer, but nonetheless, I'm absolutely 100% sure she knows more about British law than I do. However, I was very grateful to read that she actually agreed with me. However, it is not that simple, and I received 1 or 2 emails from people who are also in the field of law, and they brought up a couple of very interesting points. And the one that stood out to me in particular was the fact that what happens if Meghan Markle loses the copyright side of her claim? How would that work? Because if she does not hold the copyright, or the complete and utter copyright, if she wasn't the only person writing that letter or scripting that letter, whatever you want to call it, if she had help and the input of others, then surely the letter wasn't private to begin with. So I think that's a very valid point. One I thought about, but I thought let's wait until March. However, now the matter was brought up by others, and I thought I'll just quickly mention it. Okay, so let's move on from the case and let's talk about something else. I received a very interesting email from someone who doesn't want her name mentioned, but she knows who she is, and I'm very grateful to her. And it is with regards to a Facebook post. Now, I took the people's names out because, yeah, I don't have their permission to use their private messages, so I, at the very least, took their names out. Now, the first message on Facebook reads, Eugenie loathes online bullies and racists. She is currently working on projects with Meghan on human trafficking and slavery. And then the person says, you are not informed. In other words, she didn't say that, but she did. Then someone else asks her, and how do you know this? And you know this how? And she replies, one of our organizations in VA, and that's Virginia, are working with them and the Frederick Douglass's anti-human trafficking initiative. Okay, so I went and did some digging, and although I said this is just a chat, obviously I can't bring you something if I haven't looked at it myself. So I went and had a look, and I discovered a couple of things. Princess Eugenie and Julia de Boinville, or Boneville, Boinville, launched the Anti-Slavery Collective in 2017. However, Eugenie had been working against modern slavery since 2012, and with the support of her parents, she set up Key to Freedom, a social enterprise that supports and facilitates a route to markets for products made by survivors of trafficking. So it's quite clear Eugenie has been involved in matters concerning human trafficking, modern slavery, and abuse against women and children for quite a while. However, as far as this Human Trafficking Institute or the Anti-Slavery Collective, which they set up in 2017, is concerned, Eugenie's co-founder of the Anti-Slavery Collective is this Julia de Boneville. Julia had also been involved with Women's Interlink Foundation and worked against human trafficking since 2012. Julia had also worked with organizations such as the McCain Institute, the UN Trust Fund to End Violence Against Women, and the US State Department's Office to Monitor and Combat Trafficking. Now, Julia is Eugenie's best friend, and they had been friends since they were at school. Julia is also said to be one of Eugenie's son's godparents, etc. And Julia also works as the president of, or the vice president of business development at Affinity. Okay, so my opinion is that it would not be strange or weird or out of this world to think that Eugenie is working with someone in the United States and this Frederick Douglass Human Trafficking Initiative with regards to human trafficking, because that is what she had been doing since 2012. What I do find strange is the fact that this person is saying that Meghan is now also involved in their work. And now this is the only part of these messages that I could not confirm. But I am very sure that if she is, we will soon hear about it. And then obviously we also read that Eugenie and her husband Jack had once again moved into Frogmore with the baby. Now that is most likely because it's closer to the Queen and Prince Philip and her mom and dad, and her mom will probably be helping her for the first few weeks with the baby. So I don't think there's anything strange about that. But once again, what does this tell us? If she is now letting Meghan into her enterprise, the thing that she had been busy with since 2012 and the thing that she is passionate about, what does this actually tell us? Does it perhaps tell us that the royal family are not as anti-Meghan as we have been made to believe? I don't even want to say out loud what I really want to say. But once again, if this is true, then I do believe that the royal family, all of them, without exception, is actually complicit in one way or the other for covering up for Meghan's misdeeds. And that is just my opinion. Okay, so what's the next thing we'll be talking about? Let me just consult my list. Yeah, I just want to mention, while I'm sort of on and off the same subject, that Tarot by Andy's tarot cards also confirmed my theory that Charles was somehow involved in setting up Meghan and Harry right at the beginning of their relationship. So thank you, Andy. That makes me feel a whole lot better. Okay, then I received a lot of email concerning Samantha Markle's book, and mostly it was about all the mistakes and errors and misprints, 3 pages that had been duplicated in the book, differences between the Barnes and Noble edition and the Amazon edition, 1 chapter that was completely left out, etc., etc. However, I'm not going to continue to comment on Samantha's book until I've received my copy and actually read it. However, I also want to point out that your email was not in vain. I have actually gone and made a couple of notes from your email, because once you're busy reading a book, you often do not look at these things. It passes you by because you're so intrigued by the contents. So this time round, I have actually gone through all your email and I've made notes for myself. So when my book arrives, I will pay attention to those things. My book will be the Barnes and Noble copy. So we'll see what it contains. I cannot wait. Okay, what else have I not spoken about? Okay, it looks like I've very much said what I wanted to say for now. I'll be back in a day or so with my opinion on other matters regarding the royals. And until then, from me, bye.